All right. Hello, everybody, and welcome back to the Daily Show. Today, we have a very special guest with us today. We have Nini in the building. Nini, how about you tell us a little bit about yourself?
Okay, so I'm in the last semester of my college career. Actually graduating in how many days?
Graduating in about 6 days now.
Can't wait.
Counting down the days to graduation. So how does it feel to be graduating in such a short time?
Um, it's bittersweet, honestly, because I'm happy to have my degree, but I'm still not like 100% sure what field I actually want to go into. So I'm still looking into internships and different things at like news radios. I mean, not news radios, news stations, radio stations. I don't think I'm interested in that, so that's probably like a waste of time. And then like digital media, that's my baby. That's what I like.
Okay, so you mentioned the different forms of media. So what was actually your major? What is the degree you're graduating with?
So I'm graduating in mass communication with TV radio track. There's no specific track for like digital media design, so I had to do TV radio and take like just the 1 or 2 classes that they provided for us.
Makes sense. So what is it about that mass comm that interests you? Like, what do you want to do with that if it was up to you, like in your dream job?
Okay, so originally I wanted to do computer science, and those classes were hard.
Yeah, they definitely are tricky.
Didn't pass the first one. Barely passed. It was a D, and you have to get a C to go to the next one.
Yeah.
So I'm like, didn't want to waste too much time. So I talked to my advisor, and she basically told me like the closest thing to that would be mass comm and do like the digital marketing part. And that's when I actually took the digital design class and worked with coding and stuff like that a little bit.
Okay, you talked about a lot. You talked about coding, grading, graphic design. What other experiences do you have in the field of mass comm in the area that you want to go in?
Okay, so if we want to start back at the beginning.
Let's start from the beginning.
Okay, in high school, I was editor of the yearbook 2 years in a row. And I feel like that's what really caught my attention to design. I paid really, really close attention to where words was placed, how the pictures. I didn't want pages to look too cluttered because I was looking at previous yearbooks and I didn't like them. So I stepped up to design them how I wanted it to look. So then when I found out about mass comm, learn more about digital print, advertising and things like that, and it kind of like made everything come together. So for more experience, I'm part of an organization in ACWC, and I currently hold the marketing chair right now. So right now I create all print media such as flyers, tried to do a little promo videos for us. We haven't really used them, but things like that just to expand.
Okay, you got a lot of experience. Okay, so speaking of some of the stuff that you've been doing with NACWC and while you've been on campus here, is it possible if you think we could take a look at some of your work that you have, maybe?
Yes, we can take a look at that.
Okay, but before we get there, I want to get some more information on how you kind of your creative process. So, like, how long does it take you to like come up with an idea and then actually execute and make a flyer or some sort of graphic media like that?
Okay, so the fastest I've made a flyer is 15 minutes.
Oh, wow. So you was just throwing it together.
Not even throwing it together. It just came that easy for me.
Oh, so does it seem to happen faster if you have like an idea already in your head?
Yeah.
So how do you come up with inspiration? Like, where does your inspiration come from?
It's kind of theme based. So like for our walking tacos, like I already know we're gonna be selling tacos, so automatically I'm all right. We need tacos on this flyer. We need the price. We need this, or even for like the sweet shop. I know the background it needs to be like pink candy, things like that. So it's basically like themes that I go off of.
Okay.
And then I just try to make a unique twist to it to make it different. But I also like that my flyers look simple and to the point. I don't like a lot of information. Like we don't need paragraphs of text. Just get straight to the point for it.
Okay. Makes sense. Well, we actually have one of your works here in the studio, so I would like you to pull up the work and talk about it and talk about your creative process behind it and how you went from a blank piece of paper to this amazing flyer that we have in front of us.
Okay, so I always start with the app called Canva. It is very simple to use. You see, at first I went through and found my template, and now I'm inserting the image that I want to start with. And since this is dancing heels, I thought it'd be nice to find a lady wearing heels. And as you can see right now, I'm just finding the placement on where she should go. And I'm simply playing with the background for a sec to see if I can match the background to the color of the picture, because it's not white. And we want that consistency to make sure it looks like it's one background. So after that, you add the logo and put in the name of the organization or whatever company that you're working for, and insert that to the top, like NACWC Presents, just to let the people know who this event is for. So after you do that and find your placement, then you go through and add the name of the event, where the event is going to be held, the time, and any brief description that will let the audience know what this event is about. And then you never want to do too much on the flyer, or at least for me, I don't. I want to make sure all my colors match, make sure nothing is overlapped, everything has its own space. Oh, and I always start with like my org. I always make sure they give me the name of the event, the date, the time, and that's what I usually start with. I make sure I have all the basic information, and then I think of what theme it is, and that's where I go from there. So that's how I came up with the Lady in Heels, because we're going to be dancing in heels. After we do that, make sure everything is lined up nice and neat. Like, you want all text lined up, nothing out of place basically. Make sure everything is nice and clean. And here is your final copy. Now let's get back to the studio.
All right, and we are back. Well, that was a very helpful tutorial, Nini. I didn't even know it was that simple to make such a beautiful flyer like that. So tell me about like maybe your favorite part about this flyer. What came out the best in your opinion?
I feel like working with those legs was not the most difficult, but I had to find the best way to place them, because as you've seen, it was like more of a full woman, and it showed like her torso area that we really didn't need, and I tried to make it more appropriate for a college setting.
Okay.
So me cropping that out and making sure that it still looked realistic was probably one of the toughest parts. But then when I got the idea to make it look like she's sitting down, we're finna be dancing in heels. So
yeah, it seems like a very appropriate flyer. You see it, and obviously the legs catch your eye right away. And I love how the text is kind of arranged perfectly around the legs, and it doesn't overlap, it doesn't contradict or anything like that. It was a really well executed flyer. Props to you.
I feel like another hard part is finding that font that best fits the event as well.
Yes.
Like, this is more like a sexy event, I want to put a little cursive in there, make it more like adult.
No,
as far as it wasn't like a childish event.
I definitely agree. The fishnets definitely give it away, but if that did, the cursive writing definitely does make it a little more mature for the audience. So how did this event actually turn out? Because I can see that on the date this is actually already passed. So how did this event actually turn out?
So it was actually a very fun event. Not many ladies came out. A lot of people aren't comfortable dancing in heels, and they feel like if you're teaching a routine and they don't get it, they really don't feel comfortable. But for those who did come out, we had a ball. And this year, the routine was amazing. Bree did her thing teaching us. We all learned, and then at the end, we did like a big group video of us doing the dance, and it looked like one of those things you'll see on Facebook.
Oh, wow.
We had fun.
Okay. Well, thank you for coming on our show today, Nini. I appreciate the interview. Come back anytime if you feel free. Please keep grinding, keep doing your work, and much luck to you after graduation, okay?
Thank you.
All right, signing out for The Daily Show. Here's Braxton. Little finger gun's my thing. Pew, pew. All right, so you gonna do lights, camera, action? You should do lights, camera, action.
What?
Just say lights, camera, action.
Lights, camera.
Whoa. It's a lot of internet connections.
5302. First.
Huh? What numbers are you reading?
5302.
You say that, but... What? Girl, you selected them random... Okay,
That's my
hilarious.
apartment. 5302.